perhaps all of my career has been spent either in some form of health education or health promotion issue. The primary issue for me was tobacco. I came to see tobacco as a horrible thing to do. I could not stand being around tobacco. Everybody in my family used tobacco. At least 50 to 51% of the population of the U.S. were smokers. It was popular and it was cheap. Cigarette advertising on TV was aimed at making smoking look healthy, fun, and even sexy at times.
This is a man who smokes Marlboro cigarettes. What kind of a man is he?
I'm a guy who likes to work on my car. I like to take it apart and put it back together. I get to working on it and forget where I am, what time it is. I even forget to eat.
You don't forget to smoke, though.
I always smoke when I work. They go together.
Why Marlboro?
Well, it's a combination of things. When I draw on a cigarette, I want to taste something. With Marlboro, I do. Yet it's got a filter that works. Then there's this flip-top box. I like things that are well designed.
I couldn't figure this out. I spent most of my childhood outside, away from anybody who smoked, so that I wouldn't have to breathe that stuff in.
Did you ever try to talk to your parents or your parent, anybody else around you that was smoking, and tell them about your findings, tell them you thought it was wrong, ask them why they were doing it?
At that time, as a child, no. They just were annoyed at me because I would walk around with my shirt over my nose, or if we were anywhere I could open a window, I would open a window. Once I was in college and I started taking health education classes and smoking, the issue became a little bit more open. Yes, I did, but they would say, well, it was just a bad habit and they couldn't quit. They did not associate it at the time with being a full-fledged addiction. It wasn't until the late 70s when a British TV crew came over to Philip Morris down in Richmond, Virginia, and wanted to do a little documentary. It was called Death in the West. Once they were finished and Philip Morris saw the finished product, they got an injunction against it because it was so damaging. So for 5 years that was not shown on TV. They were not able to get that injunction taken off. So in 1984, KQED in San Francisco decided to take a chance and run it.
56 million Americans smoke cigarettes. 6 major U.S. companies sold 640 billion cigarettes in 1982, an all-time record. A recent report by the U.S. Public Health Service said cigarette smoking causes more illness and death than all other drugs. In 1982, the American Cancer Society said 835,000 Americans were diagnosed as having cancer. Millions have given up smoking, and non-smokers have become more militant.
So they ran Death in the West, and it caused a sensation. Philip Morris tried to sue, but a federal judge said that no, it was freedom of information, and therefore it should be out. So at that time, the tobacco companies had to shift gears and try to really distill public fears about the dangers of tobacco.
Gentlemen, the tobacco industry has a very serious multi-billion-dollar problem. We need more cigarette smokers, pure and simple.
Every day, 2,000 Americans stop smoking, and another 1,100 also quit. Actually, technically, they die. That means that this business needs 3,000 fresh new volunteers every day. So, forget about all that.
Cancer, heart disease, emphysema, stroke stuff. Gentlemen, we're not in this business for our health.
So in 1988, California passed Prop 99, which was a tobacco tax, which the money and proceeds would go to health education and smoking cessation programs.